This is Newsbreak 26 in Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. A piece of history is making way for environmental progress. NB Power officially began the decommissioning process for the iconic Milltown Dam this month. Built in 1881, it is one of the oldest hydroelectric dams in the world. But today it is responsible for generating just 0.8% of the province's hydroelectricity supply. While many locals lament the loss of what is believed to be Canada's oldest dam, the removal of the generating station will create additional spawning habitats for fish species and will help restore approximately 16 kilometers of the St. Croix River to its original natural glory. The entire process is expected to continue until the spring of 2024. CHCO will be covering the decommissioning every step of the way with the newest addition to our team, videographer Jeff Lively. New Brunswick RCMP told CHCO they are expecting to have an update as early as this week on an investigation into a series of incidents that took place on Deer Island last week. An abandoned house with tents on the property near Fairhaven was destroyed in a suspicious fire about an hour after a car was heavily damaged by a group of people at the ferry terminal Tuesday night, around the time of the last ferry. It's well known locally that RCMP are not on the island or able to get there easily after the last ferry of the day. Some Deer Island residents have suggested on social media that this has led to many pre-planned overnight crimes, leaving some islanders feeling compelled to take matters into their own hands. RCMP are now warning New Brunswickers against vigilante justice. Fundy the Isle St. John West MLA Andrea Anderson-Mason says islanders have been asking for more RCMP presence on the island for quite some time due to an increasingly problematic rise in crime, especially overnight.
In the last few months, in the last year, I get regular weekly calls from residents saying that they are concerned about the safety of their home, their business, their families because of what they're seeing. So would the island like to have a regular RCMP presence there on the island right now? I think they would, even if it was just for a period of time to be able to deal with what the residents are dealing with. You know, every single morning they're waking up, they're checking their yards to see what's gone missing. They're seeing people that they're not familiar with on the island. That gives them great concern.
My full half-hour interview with Anderson-Mason appears in an all-new episode of Southwest Magazine on CHCO this week. The Grand Manan V is one of 5 Canadian ferries and the only Atlantic Canada ferry to be featured on a new series of stamps called Let's Take the Ferry. The Grand Manan V has been in operation since 1990 and is one of 2 ferries offering year-round trips to Grand Manan. 110,000 vehicles and 200,000 passengers take the ferry to Grand Manan every year.
We understand that the Grand Manan V and the Adventure are both owned by the province, operated by Coastal Transport, but as Grand Mananers, we feel a real sense of ownership. They are our ferries. Probably, as much as anybody thinks about a road leading into their community, but those belong to us in our mind. And so to see it commemorated on a stamp is very exciting.
Finally, after 30 years as the executive director of the Charlotte County Volunteer Center and Food Bank in St. Stephen, Donna Linton is retiring. On Saturday at the Atlantic Superstore, the Volunteer Center teamed up with Mark Downey from Charlotte FM to honor Linton with a final food drive as well as a cake celebration. In total, nearly 4,000 pounds of food were collected and over $1,000 in cash donations were raised. Many locals, including Minister Kathy Baucus and MP John Williamson, made the trip to the Superstore to say thank you to Linton for her years of service to the community.
I want to say thank you to everybody who's thanked me, but I want to thank you because we wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for the generosity and the whole community together. And I've been very blessed to be a witness to that. And as I pass the reign on to Emily Muir, I hope that everybody engages her.
From all of us at CHCO-TV, thank you, Donna. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, follow us on Facebook at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.